Hello again. This week we are talking about how we measure the effectiveness of our strategic plan and how we implement continuous improvement to ensure that we are making action and progress towards our strategic initiatives. One of the tools that's been in use in business for a number of years and is also in use in higher ed is one called the Balanced Scorecard. The Balanced Scorecard was actually created by this team, Kaplan and Norton, from Harvard, and it was a tool designed for businesses. What they found was that businesses were really focusing primarily on financial outcomes. Obviously good, but one of the problems with financial outcomes is they're reported at the end of a quarter, at the end of a year, at the end of something. So they are too late, really, to influence at the time they're reported. In addition, they don't really tell you much about the organization and what you can do to improve the financial outcomes. So Kaplan and Norton spent time with a bunch of organizations that were doing really good work and figured out that we needed additional measures that really could measure some of the things internal to an organization that then impact the financial outcomes. They developed what they called 4 perspectives. One was certainly the financial measures, because those are important for an organization, especially a business. The next perspective was the customer focus, and they asked the question, what do we need to do to make our customers happy? What is it that they expect of us? There was a third category called internal processes, and that was really what processes do we need to really excel at to have our customers happy, to have the good financial resources coming in. And then the fourth perspective was the human resource and development area, or growth and development. What do we need to do, and how do we need to be seen by our own human resources that we have to be able to improve our efficiencies and to make our customers happy? Do our employees need additional professional development? What's our employee satisfaction rating? There are a variety of measures you could use, but essentially looking at your other resources that you have that don't really appear on a financial statement anywhere. Implied within this balanced scorecard is also something called leading and lagging indicators. The financial metrics really are the lagging indicators. As I said, they end up on the end of a reporting period, and they're the ultimate goal for a business, is to make money. The other indicators tend to be more leading indicators. They're predictive, hopefully, of where your lagging indicators will end up. So in terms of customer satisfaction, let's say something important to a customer is shorter delivery times. It's implied that if you improve your delivery times and have shorter delivery times and are measuring that, that will result in additional income down the road. So that delivery time metric would be more of a leading indicator. Within the economic world, you've heard this a million times in the news, where they look at leading indicators for economic recovery. Housing starts is a good example. So having those leading indicators helps us believe or feel that we are doing the right things, that we're on the right path. And if those are not improving, then we know we don't have a chance of improving the overall economy. So again, looking at leading indicators for your organization is also helpful for the same reasons. Within higher ed, you will see in examples of balanced scorecards, they don't necessarily stick with those original 4 perspectives because those might not really fit for higher education. For example, our real outcome is not necessarily financial, but more within a student perspective in terms of graduation rates, employment, etc. Those are our leading or lagging indicators. We will have other perspectives that would have the leading indicators, and those in the example this week, I've stuck to 4. However, some organizations use more or less, typically more perspectives than 4. For your example, we still have 4 perspectives. Student focus is at the top. We still have a focus on financial and budgetary considerations because we need to be good fiscal stewards of the resources that we have. We also have an internal processes category for what do we need to be to have as really good internal processes in order for our students to succeed. And then also our 4th is the human resources, the growth and development, and innovation. What do we need to be doing as an organization for our own internal resources in order for us to prosper and help our students? For example, do our faculty need to have terminal degrees? Do our counselors need counseling degrees? Or do we just all need additional professional development? What is our employee satisfaction? There are a variety of metrics that you could choose from in that kind of a category. I have an example listed for this week using a real balance scorecard from a college that is out on the web. And I think that will help you in looking at the kinds of metrics that go in each category. You, in your assignment, will not only want to have metrics in each category, you'll want to have some leading and some lagging. And so you'll need to explain to me why you think some are leading and some are lagging and the relationship between them. The one thing that I think is most difficult for the students in the cohorts and for anyone implementing a balanced scorecard is that link to the strategy and what the link is, because it is not always readily apparent. I think you can explain most of the metrics and how they ultimately will assist you in getting towards your strategic objectives, but that may be a description that you need to provide. In the balanced scorecard literature, they actually have, I think now on version 3 or 4, where they've incorporated more information about how to map from your strategy to your balanced scorecard. I think what's key for you to know for this week's assignment is you do not have to have a measurement in every category that directly aligns to only one strategic objective. We all know our organizations have multiple objectives. And so you may have some measures in 1 or 2 categories that align with strategic objective 1 and other measures in other categories that are more aligned to another strategic objective. Ultimately, however, those things in the learning and development and innovation and within internal processes and within the financial and budgetary areas all sort of feed each other and up to and support of your lagging indicators, which are probably in the student-focused area. And ultimately, they all support your overall strategy and mission for the college. Tried to provide a couple of examples for you in the learning materials, and hopefully that helps. Don't overanalyze or be too anxious about having everything line up directly, but so long as you can explain why you've used the measures you've used, I think you'll be getting there. One thing to consider is whether or not the data are available. Sometimes we want to measure things that we don't even have available, so think about that as you're choosing your measures this week. If you have questions, please email or give me a call. I'd be happy to provide some initial feedback on what you're thinking for your balanced scorecard. You can or will or can use this as well in your final capstone. So it'd be a good idea to have your capstone sort of in your thought process as you're developing this so that you're not doing the work twice if you don't have to. I hope that helped, and if not, give me a call. Thanks. Good luck.